Hi everyone, welcome to my talk for Bug Hunt 2023. Thank you very much for having me, and I hope you enjoyed the talk. So this is Staying Motivated in Bug Bounties with me, Zseano. I understand bug bounties can be a bit tough for people. I've been there before, so hopefully this will help give you some tips to stay motivated, because it can definitely be very rewarding, as you've seen from a lot of people tweeting and things like that. So very quickly, who am I? For those of you who don't know me, my handle online is Zseano. There's my HackerOne and Bug Hunt profiles, and there's a picture of me with my Snowy in the corner. So currently I'm a full-time bug bounty hunter, which means I wake up, do my hacking, do my thing, change nappies, spend time with my son and family, and but primarily I'm just literally focused on bug bounties at this current time. So I'm the creator and developer of bugbountyhunter.com. Now, for those of you who don't know, bugbountyhunter.com is a training website to help other people not only learn about hacking, so there's various guides, tutorials, challenges, but also I've added some stuff on there where it can basically help you find bug bounty programs. So I list public bug bounty programs on HackerOne.com, and we take a daily log where basically you can see which programs are receiving attention, how many bugs being reported, and things like that. So, I mean, if other people are being able to find bugs on there, then you can kind of assume that, oh, okay, maybe I should have a little hunt here. Just be wary that you might do on like low-hanging fruit, like XSS and things like that, but potentially you can spend some time on some of these and dig deep and find some crits. So I'm currently, developing lots more on Bug Bounty Hunter, and obviously there is the member section, which at this current time, I'm calling this video, it's actually shut at the moment while we make a lot of changes and do a lot of things really. I'm mentoring a lot of people and trying to manage a lot of things at once really. I recently won HackerOne's event in Vegas, H1702 overall, which was 3 different customers, and I won it overall. It was great fun, and hopefully can do it again one day. So let's get on with the talk and get into staying motivated in bug bounties, because I mean, like I said, I've been mentoring a lot of people over the years on Bug Bounty Hunter, and I've trained a lot of them up, and they know what they're doing. But then when it comes to bug bounties, some of them can lose motivation, and I've been there as well. All top hackers have been there. Sometimes you just have to accept it's part of life with losing a bit of motivation. So this talk is going to assume that basically you already have some knowledge on hacking, so I'm not actually going to teach you any hacking in this talk. And basically, you're already participating on bug bounty programs, and basically you want to stay motivated. It's also going to assume that you kind of enjoy taking the manual approach, which for those of you who follow me for a long time, you know that's what I do. I don't rely on any tools. I literally just have Chrome and Burp open, and I go find bugs. Now, there's nothing wrong with people using automated tools. I mean, there's a lot of people out there who have great success with it. But if you ask them, a lot of their motivation will come from being able to build tools and automate a lot of what they're looking for. So that's, if you are a developer and you're into your coding, that's where you can get a lot of your motivation, where if you find a certain something, you can then build a tool to automate this and add it into your pipeline, and so a lot of that's not what this talk's going to be about, but that is, in my opinion, what keeps a lot of people motivated when it comes to automated tooling and things like that, because coding can be addictive sometimes. Before I go any further, I do just want to say though, like, if you are feeling burnt out, I mean, this isn't just with bug bounties, this is with anything in life, but if you are feeling burnt out, listen to your body, listen to your mind, and don't push yourself. Literally take a break, take a step back, go outside, bike ride, walks, exercise, spend time with friends, family, and literally don't ignore what your body's trying to tell you. Take a break and don't push yourself, because it will just end up worse, and you're even more frustrated, even more tired, and So, number 1. So this talk isn't actually also going to be about finding a bug bounty program. I've done talks on that before and things like that. This is going to be staying motivated. So finding a scope you enjoy. So this can either be because, 1, the scope is enjoyable. So it doesn't necessarily have to be lots and lots of domains and subdomains and things like that in scope. But if their website, I mean, there's a lot of programs on HackerOne and BugCrowd and things like that where a lot of their websites have loads of features. So I call it feature rich. And there's literally lots for you to click on, play around on, because not only that, but the more features, then the more for you to poke at. But it's also going to potentially offer various roles. So for example, can you be like a normal user? Can you be like an agent type person? Can you manage certain things on these websites? Because then with that also comes different account levels, paid, unpaid features, and things like that. And that's going to literally get your hacker brain ticking over and keep you going as such. I will say that a lot of these websites, which do have lots of features and things to play with, some people can sometimes feel overwhelmed and then they'll feel frustrated. Oh, I don't know what to poke at. You literally just have to take it step by step. Don't rush yourself. You're not racing against anyone as such. Obviously, do you know what I mean? You might get a dupe on some bugs and things like that, but just ignore everything else that's going on and just take it at your own pace. And I've done talks before on like setting goals. So what do you want to spend the first couple of weeks doing? Understanding how the entire website works, what's paid, what's an unpaid feature, and things like that. Because then, not only from that, but one tip is a lot of bug hunters will not actually buy the paid features. So if it costs, I don't know, $30-$40, most people will just ignore this, move on. I'm not paying because I hate to say it, but a lot of people don't intend on spending a lot of time on programs, so they just skip over it and they don't bother. Whereas, as I found in the past, a lot of other people have, sometimes when you actually buy extra features like membership or whatever else there is on the website that offers, might lead to a lot of untouched scope, which is bugs, and then you get your money back on your investment. So literally finding a website you enjoy, like, it's not, you don't want it to be, the idea of bug bounties and things is you're your own boss, you choose your own hours, who you hack on, how long you hack on, and things like that. So finding a website that you actually enjoy using, it's not a chore to you, it's fun to hack this company. They've got so many variety of features and products and things like this that it's actually fun for you to hack on this website. You're not just going to skip through it and get bored. Oh, what's this? I don't understand it, and things like that. I mean, I've hacked on the same program now. This has been my 5th year running, and I'm actually still discovering brand new features, different accounts, and all this and that. Because, like I say, you just take it step by step, and you test certain things and go through it at your own pace. So, yeah, like I say, go through the HackerOne directory, check out a few programs, things. I mean, some people might, for example, enjoy having a bit of a gamble sometimes, like on football and things like that. So potentially you might like poking at a program, which I can actually vouch for, which is the Sky Bet. I believe they renamed to Flutter something. You have to find it in the directory. But yeah, they've got all the gambling, Sky Bet, things like that, websites and scope. So if you enjoy all that, then go have a little play on it, because not only that, but when you actually like enjoy using the website and potentially you're familiar with it because you've used it in the past, it can help you actually understand from like customer perspective, okay, what's the intended flow here, what's actually happening, and things like that. So second of all, their response times meet your needs. So we've all been there if you've been doing bug bounties where you report a bug and you hear absolutely nothing for potentially 2 weeks, and let alone you're actually waiting months and months to get paid. It can be daunting, it can be frustrating, and you feel unappreciated basically. Now, like I said, this isn't a program where, a talk site where I'm going to say like how to find a program. So this can be a tough one to figure out without spending time on a few programs. My next tip will come into play here, but being involved in the bug bounty community and talking to other hackers, and checking out where other people are hacking can help you cut the queue as such on this one with finding a good program, because obviously where other people are hacking on, they're obviously having a good time, because if somebody's having a good time, they keep going back. So how quickly you want to get paid and things like that is obviously what meets your needs, whether you're doing this part-time or whether you're doing it full-time and you rely on it as income. But for me, I like the first response within 7 days. But if it's a critical, then I like to actually hear a response within 2 days, because one, I've obviously reported a critical, but two, for their own protection as such, like I've got a critical on your site, you guys should probably look at this. I'm not saying they need to pay me after 2 days or anything like that. But ideally, I would like paying within 14 days of actually confirming the issue, rather than actually paying on resolution, which some programs do. Because you you as a hunter, I feel like you've done your work, you have found this bug, you've responsibly disclosed it, written up a report, etc., etc. We shouldn't have to wait for them to fix the bug, because we don't know what this company's time's like, what's in their pipeline, developer loads, how busy they are, and things like that. So this one is literally about what's meeting your needs. But like I say, that's what it is for me. And HackerOne and BugCrowd do have response times. However, if you've been active on bug bounties, you'll know that they're not very accurate. And like on HackerOne, I believe if the team make a comment saying that they're looking into it, then it can obviously lower their response times, and people think it's interesting, and they go look there, and then they end up waiting months and things like that. So don't always rely on the HackerOne and BugCrowd stats. It's kind of it's a hard one as such, but you kind of have to figure it out for yourself. That's one thing with bug bounties, is don't expect everything to fall on a silver platter as such. You actually do have to spend some time and actually potentially go through some frustration until you find your comfort spot. Hopefully over the years things in that area will improve, and it's easier to see just how long companies are taking to respond and things like that. But yeah, that's at this current time. So, as I mentioned earlier, connect with other hackers. So, check out who the thanked hackers are on each program, reach out, follow them on Twitter, see what they're blogging about, see what they're talking about, but potentially reach out, collaborate, or just bounce some ideas off. Like, hey, I've seen you've been active on this program, you potentially have a lead for something interesting. Have they seen this before? Anything that they've seen in the past? Could it be linked to it? And yeah, connect with them, bounce with them, because as I mentioned there at the end, one key thing with bug bounties is actually getting involved in the community, collaborating with people, talking with people. It can literally help you. You bounce ideas off each other, you talk about things, and not only that, but people have a variety of skills. So some people really good at finding lots of URLs out there that helps you to find more features and things to poke at, whereas other people more better at like diving in deep on certain things, for example. So there are lots of Discords available out there with active hackers on, which you can find on Twitter. I don't think there's like a website where you can easily find them, but yeah, there's a lot out there. Like I say, you can just find them from checking out on Twitter and things like that, where kind of hackers are participating. Lastly, accept that you need a break as such, because like I mentioned at the beginning, if you're feeling tired and burnt out and you're not actually finding anything, or you're feeling like you've tested everything, then literally just step back and take a break, because it's your body's way of saying, I'm tired, I need a break, let's stop doing this. Because if you're tired and frustrated, then you're not actually going to find anything even more as such. You're just going to go round and round circles, feel like you've tested everything, not quite sure what you're doing. So accept that you need a break, or you need to change programs if, do you know what I mean? You're not, it goes back to the other tips where if you're not enjoying the program scope, there's not a lot of features to play with and things to keep you busy and things to make your hacker mind go, okay, what can I do here? What can I control? Also, not only that, but taking a break will also help you think of some new ideas and consider potentially what you may have been missing. So I love dorking on websites, finding things, certain keywords and things like that, looking on GitHub. I know that Godfather Orber, how you pronounce your name, sorry, absolute god at finding leaks on GitHub. So I mean, he's looking for certain keywords. So obviously that's what keeps him motivated. How many different leaks can I find, different companies and things like that. Because a big part of bug bounties is finding, I've mentioned this before, but finding what works for you. There's no 1, 2, 3 step list, checklist to follow with bug bounties. Yes, we're using the same tools, burp and things like that, but a lot of it is finding your own approach. What works for you? Do you prefer looking for just one bug type, going through all features, parameters, fuzzing for parameters, brute forcing parameters, things like that, and looking for just XSS for a month? Or do you prefer to go through each feature and look for things? And then do you spot patterns? So if you see certain parameters being used which are vulnerable to something else, then try these different parameters on other endpoints because it might work and things like that. Because not only that, but I always sit there sometimes when I'm burnt out and it's like, okay, I'm actually fed up of playing around with these features in certain areas, And then it springs to me, it's like, you've actually been so focused on what's in front of you with just clicking around, viewing requests and things, that you haven't actually done a lot of hunting in JavaScript files to see if there's any extra endpoints that from old code that may work, and you haven't looked deep enough as such. So then it sparks an idea in my head for me. I'm like, okay, actually, I've got an idea, and that's why I haven't mentioned this here, but it goes back to kind of number one, but sticking to the same program will yield you great results. Like I say, I know a lot of people automate things and they find bugs all over lots of different programs, and yes, that can work for people, but I've always recommended people find a program or website that you enjoy and you're being respected, and dive in deep for as long as possible, because the more you spend on a website and the more you learn, the more you hack on it, the more experience you get, the more you're going to find, and the more you find, then the momentum's going to build up and build that momentum up. But like I say, don't burn yourself out. Also, like, let's say for example you've had a good couple of months and you've earned a nice amount of money, and then you're not actually finding anything. Look back at how successful potentially you have been and accept, okay, I need to take a break. I've actually earned a nice amount of money. Let's take a break, and don't beat yourself up and put yourself down. You don't need to find a bug every single day as such, especially with how much you can get paid per bug on some bug bounty programs. So, like I've just said there, bug bounties can be a tough gig. Sometimes you'll go weeks or even months without any findings. We've all been there, everyone. You just hit a dry spot. You're just not able to find anything. Maybe the developers haven't made any mistakes for a while and things like that. Sadly, nothing in life comes easy. Sometimes bug bounties can be put across as like, look, you can find XSS very easy, get paid $1,000, and yeah, it's that easy to pop an alert box. But it's not always that easy. Do you know what I mean? You're not always going to be able to find a bug as easy as some make it out to be. And when people write blog posts and share how much money they've earned, you don't know how many hours or late nights that they've actually stayed up. I mean, me personally, lately, I'll admit I haven't been putting my health first because, well, right now I'm literally addicted to hacking, probably motivated as such. But you do obviously need to look after your health as well. And I've been stupidly staying up till 2, 3 in the morning, then getting up at 7 a.m. to look after my son. And yeah, I'm very tired. So make sure to always prioritize your health, and I need to take that advice. But the thing is, as time progresses and your experience increases, you will become a better bug bounty hunter. Like I say, I started back in 2016, so what is that, like 9 years, something like that? No, my maths is bad. 7 years? Something like that. 8 years. This is what COVID has done to me, if I'm honest, and late nights. I'm bad at maths. I don't know. But basically, I've literally lost my complete train of thought here. Trying to do maths, that's how tired I am. I know people watching this will be laughing, like, how is this guy a hacker when he can't even do basic maths? And that is what lack of sleep does to you, okay? So make sure you get lots of sleep, because that helps you stay active and motivated. But as I was saying there, it will help you become a better bug bounty hunter the longer you spend, because the bugs I was finding and the testing that I was doing in the very beginning is nothing compared to what I'm doing now. And I've learned to ignore certain requests on websites because I've seen it lots of times. I know it's nothing interesting. I know payloads to use and things like that. It just comes with time and experience. Because not only that, but with sticking to the exact same program, I've seen too many people look at a program for a day, 2 days, and they feel like they've just skipped through all the features. They haven't found anything because they've tried a few XSS payloads and inputs, and that's it. There's nothing to find. They've lost motivation. They're moving on. Whereas you'll find those spending time and learning actually how the website's designed to function and work, and things that actually happen behind the scenes, requests made, and things, put requests, post requests, cross-site request forgery tokens used, and you start to get a feel for how this website's been built, and you kind of take it apart from the outside in, from hacking around on it. Because, I mean, there's a lot of hidden criticals out there. And I just want to end this with saying, don't give up too easy. Bug bounties can be tough, but it also can be very lucrative and very rewarding, especially for people living in certain countries and things like that, where, I mean, $1,000 to some people, life-changing, a lot of money. So you put the time and the work and the effort in, it can change your life. So yeah, don't give up too easy, but don't push yourself and don't burn out. I hope you've enjoyed this talk with staying motivated. If you have any questions at all, always feel free to reach out to me on Twitter. I've not been as active lately because I'm just so busy with hacking and that. But yeah, I'm always happy to help out and give people advice and things like that. Just be patient with me replying. So just to very quickly go through the last couple of things again is to find a scope you enjoy. This might take you some time to actually poke around at some programs. Like I say, it's not a rush, it's not a race. Don't expect you to find the first program you hack on is the one you enjoy. Might take a few times going through a bunch of programs, but you can obviously find where people are hacking on. Make sure their response times actually meet your needs, so you're not going to be left disappointed and your needs are going to be met, because bug bounty programs don't realize how much it motivates you as a hacker when you're receiving response times in a couple of days. They're acknowledging your work. Oh, okay, it's a valid bug, nice, can I find more of this? But not only that, but then when you obviously get paid, it's like, oh, okay, nice, I've earned this money, I want to do it again and again. That also does lead on me to say, though, with being burnt out, sometimes when you haven't received bounties for a long time, that can make you feel down and like you're not a very good hacker and rubbish. Don't get inside your head and beat yourself up, because look at your past activity and things like that and accept that, look, things like this happen in life. It's not always plain sailing, and sometimes you just need to take a break and have that dry spell, really. It's nature's way of saying get off the computer and go outside and get some fresh air. Make sure to definitely connect with other hackers. So there's lots of people out there on Twitter that you can follow and Discords that you can join and engage with people, talk to people, get ideas and make friends. Basically, I've made so many friends for life in bug bounties. And lastly, just accept that you need a break. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed my talk. I hope you enjoyed the conference. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you out on some bug bounty programs. Happy hacking.